There was a guy, he was a Democrat, he was running for election, and election night, he was all excited, he kept looking at all the numbers, you know, that I might win, and pretty soon, sure enough, he did win. He was still excited, he phoned his mom and he said, Mom, I won. And she said, honestly? And he said, Mother, this is no time to bring that up. Those darn Democrats, I gotta tell you, and here's a case in point, you got this woman in Georgia, her name, Stacey Abrams. You know, she ran to be governor and she didn't win. And when she was at this convention, her and all the other crazies that were there, all they could talk about is how bad Trump is. You're supposed to talk about how good you are going to be, right? I remember a game when I was a kid and my dad said, hey, if you ever sell Coca-Cola, tell them how good it is. Don't tell them how bad Pepsi is, right? And you got these people doing just the opposite of that. In any event, she said the president, he undermines everything and he will undermine the results of the election just to keep his job. He will cheat. He won't give in. He won't surrender. This is coming from a woman who still has not said that I lost. She wants recounts. She wants everything. And now she turns around and does this. What do you expect? I know what to expect. She's a Democrat. These liberals, they are totally goofy. They're insane, right? Your opinion only matters if it's identical to mine. I can do it and you cannot. And she went on and on. She would not concede with regards to her own situation. And now she's got this futuristic concept, I guess, because they're looking for anything that they can use, right? They make it up as they go. She's got this futuristic thing that says, the president will lose, but he won't leave the White Office. We're going to have to drag him out. And then you have the mayor of Kentucky that he's now saying, Coal Run, Kentucky. And he's saying, you know what, we are not going to use Goodyear tires anymore for our police cars, our fire trucks, our emergency vehicles because of their anti-police policies, right? They have other policies too. They're saying that everybody's bad except they do support the Black Lives Matter movement and things. And, you know, there's been an impact with regards to their value of a company as a company. The shares have gone down. Last I looked, it was about 6 or 7%, which is a big number when you kind of do all the factoring, right? And good for all the people who are making that happen. You got the mainstream media. They ignore things that, I don't know, that people should know, right? Like recently, for instance, there was a teenage girl who was murdered, but she was white, and she was murdered by blacks. And that's ignored. But if it was the reverse of that, guess what? You'd have riots in the street. I mean, it's an unfair system. I wanted to share some stuff with you, okay? This is profound. And then I'll say, see ya. And here it comes. You know, everything is changing. And things are about to change some more. Whether it be COVID, in November, when the election comes, there's a problem. I mean, if Trump wins or loses, I mean, if he wins, there's a revolution probably, and if he loses, a minor revolution because people on the right are honest folk, right? But they still will be angry. Will they go burn down people's houses and stuff? Not so much, but the world is changing. And do we change with it? Do we try to change it back? What do we do? But here, some interesting points. No matter how I vote, no matter what I say, something evil has invaded our nation, and our lives are never going to be the same. And the hostility of friends and family and people I don't even know sitting beside in a restaurant, I mean, they agree with opinions that they would never ever have expressed as their own in the old days. And it's kind of like I'm in the twilight zone, right? And as some man pretends to be a woman, I'm required to pretend with him, right? And you're un-American if the census decides that they want to count how many Americans are actually living in America. Russians influence our elections, that's bad. But illegals voting in our elections, that's good. And Joe Biden, it's okay for him to blackmail the president of the Ukraine, but it's an impeachable offense if Donald Trump inquires about it. People who have never owned slaves need to pay all those other people who had nothing to do with slavery as well. And people who have never been to college should pay the debts of college students who took out huge loans for their degrees. Immigrants are welcome if they have a disease, but you better be able to prove your dog is vaccinated. And that's true stuff. Irish doctors and German engineers who want to immigrate to the U.S. must go through a vigorous vetting process. But any illiterate gangbanger who jumps the border, I mean, he's okay. I mean, he can stay. And $5 billion for border security is too expensive, but $1.5 trillion for free health care is okay. If you cheat to get into college, you go to prison. But if you cheat to get into the country, you go to college for free. You processing all of this? Because this should be a joke, right? And it isn't. It's real stuff. And we need to kind of dig in and do something about this. And people who say there's no such thing as gender, these are the same people that are demanding a female president. Yeah. We see other countries going socialist and collapsing, but it seems like a great plan for us. Socialism's never worked, but let's try it, okay? Some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, and other people are not held responsible for what they're doing right now. Criminals are caught and released to hurt more people, but stopping them is bad because it's a violation of their rights. And pointing out everything, of course, that I've just done makes me a racist. Clearly, we're living in a world that's gone upside down. I mean, everything is immoral, but yet it's moral to be immoral. Good is evil, evil is good, killing murderers is wrong, but killing innocent babies is right. And there's a longer list than that. So things have changed. Is it us, or is it just a small little group of commie press people and a couple of white liberals off in the side room that is making all of this happen? I would think. Hey, you think about all that and come back tomorrow. We'll have more for you from the right, more profound stuff.